Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Ninjutsu podcast. I'm your host, Don Rowley. Today is just going to be a quick little story, funny little story from my time in Japan, just to show the lighter side of things in training. Uh, Also, I've got a request. If somebody can help me with some names, I would appreciate it. Leave them in the comment section. So this story is probably about a quarter century old, 25 years ago, late 90s, early 2000s, thereabout. I can't remember. I'm training in Japan with Nagase Sensei, and we get, news that a comedy team is going to come out and wants to, basically film an episode in the dojo asking about ninjutsu and basically having some laughs with us. Okay, so almost all the students showed up that night just to see what's going on, and this is what I know. It's two comedians, again, about 25 years ago. They're from New Zealand. They're former rugby players. I can't remember their names. I don't know anything like that, okay? I'd like, if anyone recognizes it and can give me a name in the comment section, I'd appreciate it. So we're in class and they pull up outside and they're doing something out there. And again, they're filming things and they're doing funny things out there. We just keep training. Eventually, they walk in and they've got some really cheesy ninja outfits on, homemade look from the looks of things, garbage bags, some of it. But yeah, from there, they start asking questions, and I'm the translator. Nagase Sensei, answers questions about, what is ninjutsu, what is the philosophy, things like that. The thing that stands out in my mind is that normally when you have an interpreter, please stop about every minute or so that he or she can basically translate what's been said up to that point. Nagase Sensei had to have gone on for like 5 to 10 minutes at one point, and then I had to start, explaining what he said, and try to figure out what order he was saying it in, and if they run it, in New Zealand, if they ran it in New Zealand with voiceover by me of what he was saying, it's going to be totally fouled up with the timing, him saying things and me referring to something he said later, stuff like that. But yeah, so eventually we get around to a demonstration of Fukiya, Blowgun. And Nagase Sensei is kind of famous in Japan for, shuriken demonstrations and Fukiya. And one of the things he does is basically shoot balloons, and gets them, boom. It's pretty spectacular, especially when, like you get somebody, me, to put it in their mouth, and then bam, and then we would put it right there underneath my crotch, and I just stand there, da-da, boom. Yeah, I used to be the guy that held the balloons for a long time until my wife saw a tape of the demonstration. Shortly after, Nagase Sensei in class goes, "Your wife gave me a call." Oh? Yeah, she said she doesn't want me to do the balloon thing with the crotch anymore. Oh, she's scary. Oh yeah. Yeah, for years afterwards, Nagase Sensei was telling everyone, "Don't mess with Rolly's wife. She'll kill you." And this Nagase Sensei is a guy that I credit with turning me from a martial artist, dojo darling, into a killer, This is not someone you want to mess around. And my wife scared the hell out of him. Um, yeah, I loved her, but yeah, she was protective. Anyways, getting back to the story. So, Nagase Sensei does a few things, boom, he's brought everything and he's hitting a target, and then he asks one of the comedians to do the routine with the balloon in the mouth. And I gotta tell you this. Okay, so when Nagase Sensei is doing this, you notice he has a nice big balloon. And whenever I've been, like this with the tatami mat behind me, the pin always ends up, at the end of the balloon. It's not like it ends up right here, okay? Oh, and if you're interested, it basically just use a metal tube, and those thumbtacks, the ones that just simple thumbtacks that kind of like ridged. He found some that has they're longer. I mean, most thumbtacks about like this long. This ones were like this, okay, and bright red ends make it easy to see when it hits the target. So yeah, so he asked one of the comedians to do this, and again, the comedian puts it in his mouth, but then he goes like this. I'm just sitting back there going, "Oh, okay, that's rude." Show a little confidence in him. in retrospect, he's never been around Nagase Sensei as much as I have and seen how good he is. But yeah, so he's here like this, like that. And Nagase Sensei goes, and a bright red thumbtack appears right here. And I'm sitting there and going, oh my God, Nagase Sensei missed. No, he didn't. And I'm trying to keep it together. And I might have been able to if the guy hadn't been like, everybody in the dojo loses it. Visitors, students, everyone. I collapse. I'm sitting in stage. I collapse over to my left. I'm laughing so hard. I'm trying to pull myself together. I look over, and one of the Japanese students has fallen forward. His forehead head's on the tatami, and he's slamming thing. He's trying to pull together. He looks up at me. I look at him. That's it. We're gone. We're laughing our ass off. The cameraman is laughing his ass off, but he's managed to keep it together enough that he's running around filming all of us collapsing in laughter. And of course, it doesn't help us recover that the comedian is running around the dojo like this. Ah, ah, ah. Every time we look up at him, it's like, okay, that's it. Another 30 seconds or more of laughter. Eventually, we pull it together. And, again, it's just a pin. But, and in fact, after that, the two comedians started like borrowing the Fukia and putting pins in each other, like the bum and the leg and like that, just for comedy routine. And later on, as they were packing up, the guy's going, "Oh God, I'm starting to feel that now." Okay, yeah, okay. So just be warned. You might not feel that much pain from a pin at the time, but get enough of them, it's going to like be a little painful. So yeah, that's the quick little story. I again, I'm putting this out partially to ask if anyone knows the names of this or the name of the program or anything. Again, former rugby players, comedians, about the end of the 90s, start of the 2000s at a time. Um, again, if I have a name, I could probably find something like them on YouTube, or maybe there's a DVD set for sale. So yeah, if you know anything, please leave things in the comment. And if you've got a story about Japan that you want to share, maybe leave it in the comments as well. But that's it for this week. Until next time, take care.